Mary Jane, good afternoon. Welcome to About That Time. We are very, very excited today. We are going to put some THC and cannabis in the air. We are joined by our good friend, George, aka Nightmares on Wax. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, Mary Jane Massive, if you're not familiar with the work of Nightmares on Wax, you guys have been holding down the electronic music scene, bringing in vibes from all kinds of angles for many years. You have a new album out as well. It's very exciting, keeping the movement moving. Tell us about the new record.
The new record was released towards the end of January. It's called Shape the Future, which is a tour we're on now. It was inspired by my travels across the world and me seeing all these different realities and seeing what I feel was a regular pattern that was not the same narrative that has been spun in the media. And within that, I'm going to help you out here. Within that, I kind of realized that there are individual realities going on, you know, but within them realities, that everybody wants the same thing.
Yeah.
Which everybody wants. Everybody obviously wants love. Everyone wants to be able to provide for their loved ones. Do you know what I mean? And everybody wants peace. But the narrative I feel that's in the general media doesn't seem to support that, and that was confusing me. Because I was just like, why is the main sponsorship of the narrative to be fear and to have all this negative outlook on the rest of the world, as though that there's this dark entity out there that doesn't want us to have that.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I've been to Beijing, I've been to Jordan, I've been to Israel, I've been to all these different places, cultures, and that's what I felt. Do you know what I mean? So then I started to question our relationship to reality and our responsibility of that relationship, and how I feel that it's time that we started to own it. Do you know what I mean? And rather than have it dictated to us. So that was the influence around the album, really, Shape the Future and stuff like that. But it's more of a, I mean, some people have accused me of talking about a revolution, but I actually say it's a conscious revolution.
Yeah.
It's a revolution of the mind. I think it's time that we own our thoughts, we own our vision, we own our imagination. It belongs to us, right?
100%. Is there one of those countries that you listed, Beijing, Jordan? Can you think of any specific instances that really was like, oh, this is something that I really need to tap into?
Jordan was the really interesting one. I mean, they were all interesting, but with Jordan, this is a country that's like surrounded with so much conflict, but yet I met the most peaceful people I've ever met. Like, that was like really, really kind of wild to me. And then the partying aspect of that was people party like it's the last party that's ever going to happen, because they don't know, because they're on the edge all the time. But that puts them in a place of appreciation.
Yeah. And
then that made me realize the other angle of that, which is quite a Buddhist outlook of being in the moment.
Truly.
And appreciating the moment all the time. So no matter what's happening, that might be your last moment. So therefore, what do? You have gratitude in it, you know. So that was really like, yeah, it was kind of mind-blowing for me, just being in that, and you know, to kind of feel that I don't get that dialogue, I don't get that information if I hear about other countries. I had the same experience going to Israel. Like, you know, I was a bit concerned about going there, obviously, but then when I went to Israel, I was like, I'll never have an opinion about another country again unless I've been.
Yeah.
You know, even though I'm sharing this with the people now about a country, but I can only go off my experience, is that when I got to Israel, everybody ate the same food. Everybody partied together, did the whole, you know, whether they were Jewish, Muslim, whatever. The one thing that I found interesting there was that most of the homeless people were Russian.
Wow.
And the Russian people were kind of outcasted, even though they were invited to go there to create the occupation. Because of the language barrier and the weather, they kind of were outcasted. You never hear about that story.
Yeah.
You don't hear about it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So just all that kind of thing gave me a brighter view. It's just like, well, what if we didn't have that news and that information there that was definitely has a slight agenda to it? Do you know what I mean? Maybe we'd have a different outlook on the world. And then that took me to a different place where I just started thinking, isn't it time we stop complaining about the world? Shouldn't we start thinking about how we'd like it to be?
Yeah, absolutely.
If consciousness and if thought really has the power to create things, which it does, it created this channel. this was somebody's thought.
Shout out Mary Jane.
You know? So if it can create realities like that, why can't we think about the future reality as a collective, or just even in our own world?
Absolutely.
How you want things to be, you know?
Yeah. Now, do you find yourself, are you traveling primarily as a DJ? Are you also traveling personally just for your own kind of mind expansion?
I have 3 elements to travel, maybe more. But right now I'm with the band, because we're out touring the live show. And then I DJ and I travel on my own. And then I travel with my family as well, my wife and my daughter, and when we have a vacation and stuff. So
now, do you find yourself gravitating towards different places?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm still amazed where music takes me.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm sat on a sun lounger on Ipanema Beach. I'm like, wow, is this because of music? Or I'm sat here having this conversation with you, it's because of music. And that still amazes me. It's like, wow, music has just got this amazing power to just take you places. So for me, it's made me realize how sacred it is. And it's important for me to, you know, I've gone through the phases of like being part of a scene and trying to be cool and all this kind of thing. When you're younger, that's kind of the playground you're in. And I feel that the space I'm in now, it's not about any of that stuff. It's about me coming from my heart and enjoying the music. So when I enjoy the music, it's taking me to these magical places, or giving me these wild experiences. Like, you know, even over the last week of being in Vancouver and being in San Francisco and just seeing the intensity of the homeless situation.
Yeah. And
the people jacking up, smoking crack on the street, and they look like the night of the living dead or day of the living dead. You know what I mean? But actually seeing it, and it's, you know, it made a few of us feel really uncomfortable. But I was just like, this is reality. We need to feel this as well, because this is what's happening. It's just like, you know, it's great to be on a beach and be in Brazil and doing gigs in all these beautiful places, but we need to feel and see this as well, because we're talking about shaping the future here. And I think that this, you know, the whole planet is a part of us. You know what I mean? Everything is an echo of something. So I think it's good to experience it rather than in real value. Do you know what I mean? Rather than it being secondhand from somewhere. You know?
Absolutely, that's really cool. Now, in terms of family versus professional, do you feel like where you've traveled with your music and creatively influences where you like to travel and bring your family and kids?
Wow, that's a great question. No, I don't think it does. I mean, we kind of like, me and my wife, we've traveled for years, even before we had my daughter and stuff, and we set up this kind of thing from a long time ago, that we would always be in a different country on New Year's Eve. Yeah, so we were attracted to Asia, and you know, we've kind of done that. We've done it in some Western countries as well, but do you know what I mean? Like, that always seems to be our thing. We kind of like to go where the sun is, and where there's an opportunity to have, I don't want to say culture shock anymore, because I kind of don't think I get that anymore. Do you know what I mean? But to have a cultural experience in a way where, you know what I mean, you just get another reality and just another way to pick up vibes, man. Do you know what I mean?
Something meaningful.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I even see it with traveling now. Like, you know, like, you go to certain places and you see Starbucks and you see this and you see that, and it gets boring. That part of it's boring to me. Do you know what I mean? I want to feel the culture. Do you know what I mean? You know, so I'm not saying it's boring when I'm in America, but you know what I mean? It's like we see all this stuff in Europe and we see it all in England. It starts to mirror a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So to sort of cut through that kind of just one-dimensional part of the culture, it's good to go to the East.
Agreed.
You know, it's good.
Absolutely. Well, George, we like to make sure that the folks here watching About That Time, Mary Jane, get a good sense of sort of where you've been, what's going on. So we like to take a couple pictures from your Instagram, and then you can just tell us the story behind the picture.
Wow, cool.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
So the first picture we have, I believe, is just some kids chilling on the street. You can see it up there on the screen.
Wow.
So
yeah.
tell us what's going on here.
Okay, so that's the back street of the street I was born on. It was called Branksome Terrace in Leeds, in the north of England, where I was born. And behind that street where some students lived, and basically they were kind of hippified students, but they used to invite us round, let us try different food, stuff like that. And that's a guy called Richard there. I don't actually know what's happening in the picture. I know the story behind the picture, but I don't actually know what I'm looking at or what I'm showing him there. And then the girl with the black hair, that's like my oldest friend. Her name is Frances Regan. She's my oldest friend. We've been like friends since we were in diapers. Do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So what was the hood like when you were growing up?
It was great. We lived like on Ash Street, only had like 12 houses on it, 6 on each side. And at the end of the street was like a big wall, which I think like was like an old nunnery like a long time ago, but it got taken over and converted into a Hindu temple. So even when there were weddings there, when we were young and stuff, me and Frankie would go around there and they'd invite you in and you go and eat food and stuff like that when there was a wedding on. Do you know what I mean? So we had a lot of culture and a lot of like, it was really mixed, lots of Irish, lots of Scottish, lots of Indian and Pakistanis and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It was a really mixed area. The whole area is kind of known as Burley and Hyde Park in Leeds, but probably the most cosmopolitan area at that time when I was growing up for the whole of Leeds, you know.
Very interesting. So the next picture we have is of sort of something that I don't think is your hometown. I think we're looking at some ruins. Can you tell us what's going on here?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was so that was my trip to Jordan. And we went to Petra to go see the site, Petra, where obviously, you know, the Raiders of the Lost Ark and stuff like that have been shot there and stuff. But and that's with my bro Kazim. And we went on this trek up to the top to go see this what they say is a monastery. Yeah, but this building, literally, it's got windows, but there's no window, if you know what I mean. They're cut out windows in the wall.
Yeah.
So it's just like a wall with concrete, not concrete, but the rock there. And there's like one room inside, do you know what I mean? So, but there's a lot of mystery around it, because they can't really understand why they built them, do you know what I mean? But this is the trip up there, it was amazing, such a magical place. And even the way that they date it and everything, it just feels like so much older. They're dating it to like 1600 something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so, but it feels so much older, do you know what I mean? And like, when you see the mountain people,
yeah,
the nomads that live there and stuff like that, the Bedouins and shit, it's yeah, these guys live in some of the caves that are up there, but then they're on some of the steps that you walk down through the rocks on, selling all their jewelry that they've made and stuff like that. It's magical.
It sounds like a great place.
Yeah, it's magical, man. It's just like, we don't really know history. We know bits. You know what I mean? It's just like, when you go something like that and you're like, wow, like, I'm talking about shaping the future and creating your reality and being in touch with that, with thought. And then you go to somewhere like that and you try to sense what people were thinking back then to do what they've done, and then they can't even work out how they've done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They can theorize it, do you know what I mean? But that stuff like that excites me, you know?
I relate to that for sure. Now, we like to make sure we keep it at 100. We like to do a mic check now and again. Azumi, the master of our mic check, is going to come and check the mic, guys.
Can we maybe
Probably.
put your pack?
Azumi checking the mic, guys. This is a rarity and about that time. It is the Azumi cameo, debut cameo, mic checker. Azumi, the mic checker.
Go Azumi!
Hell yeah, get that money, Azumi. Check that mic. We fuck with you. That's what it is. How are we doing with the mic checker?
Check, mic checker.
We got it?
Yeah.
All right, we in business. Okay, let's go to the next photo. This is, I believe there's some drumming happening here. Tell us what's going on here.
So this is my good friend, my bro, my best man at my wedding. His name is Andrew Shovel, the drum warrior Lovell. And I think that is from my party that I organised in Ibiza called Wax the Jam. And Wax the Jam, the concept of Wax the Jam is DJs, percussionists and an MC. Yeah, so what happens is that we DJ and we play, but we spontaneously go into a loop at some point, and the percussionist kicks in, or the drummer kicks in, sorry, percussionist and a drummer, and an MC, so the drummer kicks in, and the MC goes into a jam, and the crowd kind of become part of that moment, and then we slip back into playing a normal records, we slip back and play into the rest of the records and stuff like that, but Shovel's like an incredible percussionist, like, he's worked with me from Smoker's Delight. He was on the Smoker's Delight album on the track Gambia via Bagator Beach. And And yeah, I can't say enough about this guy. I love this guy. This guy's amazing.
Shout out. Next picture, you're at the pyramids. Have you visited the pyramids more than once?
I've got a crazy story about the pyramids.
I'm ready to hear it. Guys, everyone be prepared. Nightmares on Wax, crazy pyramid stories.
Okay,
Boom. All right, let's hear it.
This is where people go, yeah, you're a stone, man. But
True.
No,
In fact, shout out to THE Design. Shout out to Mez Pens, our homie in Colorado. They make fine. Do you like a good vape pen?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's vape up this story.
Yeah, we just have a vape up a story. We're rocking with Mez. We're vaping up a story.
So I get the beautiful opportunity to go and DJ in Egypt, in Cairo. And shout out to Moez, who took me out there and his crew. And basically, I was like, obviously, I have to go to the pyramids. I've been into Egyptology and, I love a lot of esoteric stuff and that. I think that's kind of clear. So he takes me to the pyramids and he's like, look, man, he's like, it's going to be crazy busy up there. So be prepared, do you know what I mean? So we gets up there, I think it was at like about 10:30 in the morning. And there's nobody there, it's quiet, right? And he's like, I can't believe there's nobody here. Like, there's like just a few horsemen around selling stuff and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, we've got to go in the Great Pyramid, man. We've got to do it. Like, so we goes buys tickets, goes in the pyramid, starts walking up the Grand Corridor, which is this stair, 45-degree stair angle that goes up to the King's Chamber, which is pretty amazing. So we're going up this, and then we get to this opening, which is like a black granite opening, like a tunnel, and you have to crawl through the tunnel, and then it opens up into the King's Chamber. Like, amazing shit, right? We get inside, there's two people inside. There's one guy sat down and one guy just walking kind of around the room. And then I get up and leave. Sorry, I missed a bit out. As I'm going up the stairs, yeah, I'm looking around at this amazing monument, and I'm thinking, this just reminds me of an amplifier. It reminds me of the old coil system of an amplifier, and that's what I had in my head. So I started shouting, going, yo, 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 and it was like reverberating, and do you know what I mean? I was doing that shit. So I don't get, when I'm going to be in the pyramid again, if I'm going to shout in the pyramid, now's the time to do it. So I did that anyway. Going back to being back into.
How was the pyramid echo?
It was like the way that it resonated, man. It was just. Yes, I can't even. If I could make the sound effect, I would do, but I can't do. I feel very, very high now, so it's not going to work.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But the sound was.
The reverb echo in the pyramid is pretty next level.
Yeah, it's like I don't have that plugin. Put it that way.
But that could be your next. That could be your next software collaboration. You know what I mean? The Nightmares on Wax Pyramid Echoes, guys. Yeah. We're gonna drop the Pyramid Echoes pack coming soon. This holiday season, check for it. We will be giving you reverbs and echoes from all of the great pyramidal structures around the world.
You heard it here first.
Pre-order link coming soon.
Oh wow, we might be on a really $1 million idea then.
$1 million ideas don't happen every day. Today is one of those days, however. The Pyramid Pack, that's what it's called. Check for it coming soon. Should we do another picture, or should we go deeper on
No, you've got to go deeper. The story's not over.
Okay,
the story's not over. So I get inside the King's Chamber. These two people leave, yeah, and I'm there with Moez, the promoter who's booked me, and I'm like, I cannot believe I'm in the King's Chamber and there's just us here. I'm like, what are the chances of that like that? So I was like, I've got to meditate. I got to sit down and meditate. I was like, first I was started walking around, feeling the walls. I was just zenning out, do you know what I mean? I was like feeling everything around, just trying to think where I should sit anyway. Sat in this position and I just started meditating, right? And then there's like what they call the sarcophagus is in front of us. And then I got this image, right, of this like light being, this white body coming out of the sarcophagus, right? This is the vision I got. And the moment that I saw it, I got wowed. So I lost the vision, which is obviously the art of meditating, right? I lost the vision. Then there was a power cut. Like the lights that were on in this chamber, it just went pitch black, right? And the immediate thing is to go like, shit yourself. You know what I mean? But I was just like, oh, actually, I can't see anything, but I can feel. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not lying, like the vibes, it felt like it was just a buzzing feeling in there. I could feel the energy in there. The lights came back on. And I looked at Moyes like that, and he was just like, wow, man, what's going on there? And then it went off again, right? Then I could hear somebody shouting, but it sounded like when I was shouting when I was coming up the stairwell, right? So I'm thinking, oh, so there must be some more tourists coming. And then nobody came, and the lights went on again, and then they went off again, and then somebody shouting again. I was, maybe we need to step out. So we stepped out, and halfway down, there's one of the attendants there. It's like, you got to come down. You need to come down. We're closing. You need to come down. And when we arrived there, like at 11, it was closing at 1 for prayer. And I was thinking, there's no way we've been in here for like 2 hours. Do you know what I'm saying? There's no way, right? And he gets down. As it gets down to the bottom, there's a military officer there. And he starts shouting at me. He starts going, you're not allowed to meditate in the pyramids. It's not allowed. You go in, you look, and you leave. Like that, right? And I was just like, this is me, like high as a kite after I just had this experience, being told there's something that I can't do that I've already done. But I'm also thinking, when do you ever tell somebody not to meditate? Do you know what I mean? That was just like, and the Moyes was kind of like a little bit tripped out of it because he felt like offended, you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? It's this local country, and he just felt that I'd been offended. But I was just like amazed by the whole experience. That's my pyramid story.
Guys, be warned, though you may be fans of meditation, you might get called out for it at a pyramid.
Meditation's dangerous, it's powerful, be careful.
Heavy, dangerous meditations occurring in pyramids. Staying lit. Okay, we got a couple more pictures. This is one of a levitation occurring over a bed.
Wow, yeah. So that's a shot from the music video we made for the track called Citizen Kane, which is on the Shape the Future album. We shot that in New Orleans. That's Langston Fishburne, Lawrence Fishburne's son. That's levitating in there. And basically, the story in the video is about somebody crossing over, you know, like, but then looking back on their life, you know, and having their loved ones around them at their deathbed. And that's the kind of, you have to watch the whole video, you know, to get the whole story, but that's the end scene where he's kind of levitated and he's been released, you know. So it was an amazing time shooting the videos. It was my first time being in New Orleans as well. And what a special place.
Yeah, it has a great energy there.
Yeah, man, it's like, wow. Like,
culinary tradition, musical tradition.
Food and music. Amazing,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
insane.
Like, yeah.
And how they play off each other.
Yeah.
Have a good time down there.
Yeah, I was yeah, really just blown away by that place. I really, really was.
Yeah, it's one of a kind for sure. Shout out to New Orleans as always, home of many great American musical ideas. One last picture from tonight's installment of our unnamed Instagram segment. What tell us about your vitamin routine?
Wow, you know what's really funny about this interview? I've just seen all the things I'm giving away.
Gems, guys. Gems today on sale. We have a gem sale. You're buying the pyramid pack, you're getting a gem sale. We have so many gems on today's show. Non-stop.
It's so, you know, it's really like made me realize like snippets of your life. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like,
it's true.
You're there Instagramming away and you're posting all, and it's snippets of your life are constantly being recorded. Do you know what I mean? It's funny. Do you know what I mean? But it's quite funny the selection of pictures you've picked out and where you're taking me. You're taking me to different places of me.
It's true. Guys, we are out here. We have many places of ourselves.
Yeah,
we like to
yeah,
travel.
yeah.
It's like a self-vacation. You travel to all the places within yourself.
This is like a real live digital trip.
Guys, real life digital trip here. Hang out with us about that time. Mary Jane, we're doing it this afternoon, chilling with our friend, Emerson Wax, George.
Okay.
Tell us about the vitamin tree, because really, we got to get down to brass tacks.
Okay, so melatonin, it's just good for the body clock when you're traveling, especially going different time zones and stuff. I've actually not been using that lately because I kind of changed my outlook on the traveling thing. Was to don't be so attached to the time. You know what I mean? And if you're tired, go to sleep. If you're not, stay awake. You know what I mean? And then all like that jet lag thing doesn't really happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, you still have to get the right amount of sleep, but stop being tied to when you should go to bed and when you, especially if you're traveling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo, shout out to afternoon naps. I mean, what the fuck?
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm supposed to wait till bedtime just to have a nap? Come on.
Snooze, you win.
Guys, it is a new era. Before today's show, it was snooze you lose. Now it is snooze you win.
Shout out to
This is a philosophical movement, guys. We are spreading it across the nation and the world and the planets.
Yeah,
you gotta
man.
be multi-planetary nowadays.
yeah. If you
Snooze you win, guys.
snooze, you win.
Get up on this. Real gems.
Oh shit! I've actually got to give a shout out to my boys, Acid Mondays. 'Cause that's their joke, so I'm gonna give it to them.
Acid Mondays,
Acid
you're getting
Mondays.
credit for your intellectual property. About that time is not biting. We are giving credit where
Credit
credit
is
is
due.
due.
Snooze, you win.
Snooze you win, guys. It's a new way to do things. Now, speaking of about that time being a bit of a trippy show, we should introduce you. This is the Critter Click. We're hanging with the Critter Click. You're hanging next to Bowie the cat. Bowie the cat's on the couch right there.
Oh, okay.
We got our friend the pigeon. This is Fuzzbutt the husky. Dennis the monkey. We all have fun. We chill out and about that time. We do our thing. We do like to go into multiple dimensions. We like to go to the future. We like to explore the past. This is a futuristic bong. It's made by Jet Labs. We take futuristic bong rips on about that time. And then
What's the difference in this bong then?
okay, so it's CNC. It's created with high-end CNC technology, where they're basically able to custom fabricate all these parts that are very durable
Right.
and last a long time. You don't need to pull this. It's built right in there. There's patented diffusion technology that makes the smoke very smooth when you hit it.
Damn.
Shout out to Jet, the bong of the
You
future.
guys must have been smoking a lot of weed when you thought of that idea. Wow.
There you go, my friend. Guys,
And what am I actually smoking?
we're smoking on some THC Design XJ13. It is, I believe, the finest sativa available on the market today. Shout out to THC Design as always. Shout out to Jet Water Systems. Shout out to our friends at Meds. We're all hanging here, doing our thing. Yeah?
Not really.
Oh, you keep that up, and then when it's full, you.
Oh, I did it
then
the wrong
push
way
down.
around.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Check to see if your pack is on the other one.
There we go. Now you can pull it down whenever you want to clear it.
Better.
Nearly a little tickle.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, that's smooth, man.
Shout out to Jet. So, that being said, we are crossing dimensions. We are in different paradigms all simultaneously. That means, on about that time, we like to look at the horoscope. We like to go into a dimension. We like to have a little astrology time. We break out our salt crystal lamp. We turn it on. We change the lighting. We get a little bit mystical. We try to figure out what's going on with this horoscope. Now, do you follow your horoscope?
From time to time. Not. I wouldn't say like.
You're not obsessed with it?
No.
No. I mean, I think we all glance at it time to time, you know, just for fun, see what's going on,
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. So what we do on Astrology Time is we looked at your horoscope. We took a couple sentences that say they describe you as a Capricorn. You just tell us if you think they're on point or not.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds cool.
Takes into account all the facts before making any decisions.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Pretty close.
Okay, I think that sounds like a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Okay, element number 2. Has a deep interest in the spiritual world.
Yes.
Guys, the horoscope is kind of nailing it tonight. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes the horoscope's like 50-50. I don't know. It's even not, maybe not even always batting 500. Tonight, that was 2 strong hits, it sounds like, right off the bat. Okay, number 3. Won't let negative situations impact their lives.
Yeah.
Staying positive, guys. I think that's a pretty solid one. wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Shit.
Guys, I'm feeling the vibe tonight. The horoscope is really, really hot.
Does that mean I'm predictable?
I don't think so, George. We dug deep. We looked at it through the astrological lens to decipher whether the horoscope could really describe a person. We're just on that journey right now. Okay. Number 4. Friends frequently seek their advice. I don't know. Are you that guy?
Yes.
I can ask you a question, George. George, you've had some experiences. You've lived some life. Tell me more.
Yeah.
What's been going on? That happens to you frequently.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's not, thank you horoscope. I think.
Yeah.
Like they're just letting us know what the real really is. So that's kind of what we do on Astrology Time. I appreciate you coming on this journey with us.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no, it's really important. You got to check in with the metaphysical reality, sync it up. You know what I mean? You got to make sure, like, see if you guys are calibrated.
Well, you've taken me to many dimensions in this interview, so it's cool.
We are an It's the first interdimensional interview show.
Yeah.
It's a kind of new concept in narrative approach. We try to be pioneers whenever possible here.
It's working.
Yeah, absolutely. So we come back into the real world, and we want to make sure that everyone out there is up on the world of news, and especially cannabis news. We're a cannabis-centric outlet. We follow the world of politics, and we like to report on it. So we want to make sure people know what's going on out in the world of cannabis. So we have some headlines. We got them from Mary Jane. We'll just talk about them. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so CBD may help smokers quit cigarettes, a new study finds. I mean, I think quitting smoking is probably advisable.
Yeah, but I also think that, like, it's almost like every few months there's a new discovery with this plant. It's just so amazing, right? It's just
Absolutely.
like so amazing. I've been taking CBD oil for the past 2 months. My mum's been taking it because she's not been feeling too great. And the differences and the things are massive. You know what I mean? But so to hear like this go to another level, like it's like, what can't this plant do?
Guys, we're still trying to figure it out. What can't cannabis do? If you guys have any ideas of what cannabis can't do, please let us know. But I bet it's gonna be crickets out there, guys. There's basically nothing. I mean,
We can make everything out of it.
Ask anyone in the Critter Click. The Critter Click completely co-signs weed does everything.
Everything.
Yeah, that's a trademark actually now as well. Weed does everything. Yeah, make sure you check in on it. Anyway, cigarette smokers out there, it's good to quit smoking now for the good of your health. CBD may help you out, so make sure you keep your eyes open.
I'm trying to stroke your cat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, please. Bowie likes to.
It's kind of weird trying to get.
Yeah, if there's a bit of a, that's
a bit shy.
Yeah, to be real, we were talking earlier about the parallel dimension that we exist in. Bowie's down. He's enjoying your affection. He's a good cat. What can you say? Okay.
The pigeon looks a bit.
A
bit snobby.
A snobby pigeon. Actually, guys, we've been looking for a name for our pigeon, and George has just identified the name that we were looking for. He is now known as Snobby the Pigeon, guys. We have our pigeon name. It is a very rare occurrence on About That Time. It has been a story. It has been a myth. It is sort of like the Lord of the Rings of naming processes. And that has resulted in this pigeon being named Snobby.
Yeah.
Guys, Critter Click, welcome Snobby the Pigeon.
What
Bowie,
up, Snobby?
Dennis, Fuzzbutt, repping hard for Snobby the Pigeon. We fuck
Snobby
with you,
P.
Snobby P, he's even got a street name now. This guy's ready to roll. He's getting swole. He's getting swole on screen, guys. All right, this is a more serious note. Okay. Canadian Senate passes a bill to legalize cannabis. We know the Canadians are working hard. They may be one of the first major economies in the world to federally legalize cannabis. It allows medical research. It allows adult use. And when you combine those things together in a smart regulatory infrastructure, good things happen.
Oh, man.
Learn from Canada. Trump beefing with Trudeau, like, my G, that's dumb. Your Canadians are your homies, bro. And why are you trying to fuck shit up?
Why are you trying to fuck anything up?
Yeah, please, just shut the fuck up, I think that would just, like, complete the circle. So, yeah, shout out to Canada. Keeping things progressive,
I think
solving some problems.
I know a few friends have been telling me about this because I've been out to Canada a few times over the last few months. And I just think it's amazing. Like, again, the shift is definitely happening. Do you know what I mean? The shift is on. There's no denying that. It's not going backwards. Do you know what I mean? So, it's just baby steps. That's how I see it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Big baby steps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of big baby steps, there's a big thing happening in the world right now. Dennis Rodman is tagging along for the Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump summit in Singapore. Just add Dennis Rodman to the mix. Is there anything that could make our reality stranger than the most important geopolitical conversation that may have happened in our lifetimes is being attended to by none other than Dennis Rodman. Shout out to Dennis Rodman. He's an experimental guy. He has a far out vision.
Yeah, he was there before anyone.
He was there before it was cool, guys. He was an influencer.
You know what I
He's a
mean?
North Korea influencer.
But-
Dennis Rodman, his
Yeah.
influencer game is strong. He's influencing the world's ideas about North Korea.
Well, to him, this is just old school, right?
Hey, he's like, I've been on this, Donald.
Yeah, I've done
Please
this.
try to keep up. I know
Yeah.
you think I'm an innovator. Just try to keep up, buddy. You're on my shit from years ago.
But you know, on another note, I kind of see like it feels like things do have to get so ridiculous for us to sort it out.
Yeah.
It does feel like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, what are we going to put up with? So this is as far as it's got.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I feel that this is helping people find a voice.
Yeah.
I do feel that. Do you know what I mean? It's as ridiculous as it is. Do you know what I mean? But it's not worked before, has it?
It hasn't. But
Do you know what I mean? It's just been tagging along. Things have just been tagging along. It's time. It is time for change, man. The system is broken.
system is broken. It's a time to change.
You know.
Dennis Rodman
Yeah.
overseeing the meeting.
Well, we just need more love in the world, man. Do you know what I mean? And start caring for people rather than
One might say
businesses.
you should worry more about shaping the future, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So if we put our imagination and our vision into something a more loving paradigm, a more loving reality, if we think about that enough, you know, just let's try. What have we got to lose?
We have nothing to lose, guys.
You know.
Shape the future. Listen, simple words, but on point. There's a sub-story to this story,
Yeah.
which is that there's a cannabis-inspired cryptocurrency that is underwriting Dennis Rodman's travels. So not only is he Dennis Rodman at the world's most important political conversation, he is Dennis Rodman at the world's most important political conversation, sponsored by a cannabis cryptocurrency. How about that, though?
Wow.
I think they say.
That's wow, isn't it? I mean, like I was
Well,
saying,
I think it's peak 2018, guys. We've hit peak 2018.
like-
This is the story that summarizes everything we know about the world at this exact
But
moment.
isn't it also an example of how magical this plant is? It's getting into everything.
This plant it's really truly a weed, guys. This
know?
weed was not lying when it
You
was
know?
marketing itself to you.
Yeah, it's
this
just
weed
like-
gets into everything.
It's like, you're going to suppress me?
yeah,
I'll show you.
I think that's Mother Nature kind of.
I'm going to be a
just
currency now.
sending us a message, guys. Trade your pot coins. Chill with Dennis Rodman. It's just the world we live in.
So imagine now talking about this reality 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you would be laughing.
It would be inconceivable, like
would
many
though.
things in the present era, it would be inconceivable to have
It
predicted
would.
that this is the way things would go. If you're a fan of the film Idiocracy, I think there were definitely some early lead indicators in that film. It may be disturbing at certain times.
I think
Yet
yeah.
here we are, guys.
Haven't
Peak
we
2018.
haven't we been given loads of signs? Like,
I mean,
that's why it feels like we're in a movie, right? Because you've seen all this shit in the movies.
yeah, they've really merged just the fictional narrative with the non-fictional narrative, thus confusing the line between nonfiction and
all
fiction.
an illusion. It's all an illusion.
So buy your pot coins because why the fuck not, I guess. You know, like that should really be their tagline, don't you think? Why the fuck not, I guess. Pot coin.
Podcast is
shout out.
it is a funny name. I gotta give them that.
But at the end of the day, supporting a narrative that has definitely summarized the world that we live in.
Yeah.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
George, we really appreciate your coming through, hanging with us on About That Time. We want to make sure we give you a moment to kind of let the people know about what you have coming on the horizon, what they should be checking for. Give them a little bit of a lead indicator of what they should be checking for in the future.
Okay, well, obviously the album's out now, Shape the Future. We're on tour right now, doing the Shape the Future tour. We're playing in LA tonight at the Fonda Theatre, and then we're going to Phoenix, Arizona, and then we're playing at Sonic Boom, and then going back to Europe to do some festivals, and then I've got an EP being released July the 13th with some remixes on, with like Moody Man and Esther. And
The
stuff
Moody
like
Man remix just dropped.
Yeah, the Moody Man remix just dropped.
Shout out to Moody Man.
Shout out to Moody Man. twisting our reality as always.
Our reality is twisted. Moody Man's just the only guy that's ready to express it in songs.
But yeah, and then I'm doing some DJ shows. I've got my party starting in Ibiza, where I live, which is a monthly event at Las Dahlias. So we've got 4 of them shows happening from June till September.
Tell us a little bit more about those shows, because you tend to do some of those shows for a good cause as well, right?
Oh yeah, so I'm ambassador of a foundation called Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, and what the foundation does, it specialises in building clean water wells in Asia and in Africa, and we do that with another foundation called Drop for Drop. Those are the actual well builders who specialise in that. So I raise money for that through my concerts, and also at Wax the Jam we collaborate with them to try create more awareness about the foundation. But I'm also climbing Kilimanjaro in September with the foundation as well, to build some homes for, you know, people like single parents with people with disabilities and stuff like that. That's in Tanzania. So doing that in September the 13th for a 7-day hike to the summit. So yeah. Just a few things, but no, it's all for a good cause, and I feel like in life. It's like it's good to challenge yourself, but it's good to help change people's lives as well and help. Do you know what I mean? So it's like having life-changing experiences while changing people's lives for the better. You know.
I don't think I could put that any better. Guys, thank you so much for checking in with us on About That Time. Mary Jane, check it out, maryjane.com. Check out George, Nightmares on Wax. New album out now, on tour in a city near you. Thanks so much for coming through, sir.
Come and check us tonight. I'm with LSK, and with Sadie Walker, and with Grant Kershaw. We're live and direct here in the United States. Come and check us out. Thanks for tuning in. One love.
One love, guys.
Ciao.